Football is back in full force as we are going to briefly recap preseason week 1. And then we're still talking fantasy football. We got running backs and defenses coming up right now. Hello and welcome back to the Beerly Football Podcast. It's about football at Beerly. I am your host, Zachary Smith. Join me, as always, is a very good friend who won't admit that I'm better at him than basketball. It's Trev Scott. How are we doing tonight?
Man, I was hoping you weren't about to say me. But as we know, Kerry will admit to being the worst basketball player on this podcast. But
Since when?
Okay, maybe not. Maybe we're gonna have to settle that one day. But before we can get into all that, let's talk about football. I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm excited to talk about running backs, which at one point was like the pinnacle of fantasy football. Is it still, or have these receivers caught up and it's a receiver fantasy sport now? But we'll see. We got running backs. I'm doing good. How you doing, Kerry?
So lovely. 1 week closer to actual football. 1 week closer to not having to watch Kellen Mond on a televised game. Doing better.
Yeah, he did not look great. But before we get into talking about what happened in the preseason, why don't we go ahead and tell the viewers at home, what are we drinking tonight, boys?
I'll go first. I had this a couple weeks ago with a meal for the second time, and I saw it in a liquor store today. It's a Chang Lager, and it's from Thailand. It's a really good beer. I got a 6-pack. I'll probably drink at least like 2 or 3 of them tonight, depending on how much you guys piss me off. But it's a great beer. If you can find it at a liquor store or anywhere that sells it, definitely grab it.
Is it Thailand or Thailand?
It's Thailand.
Not Thailand? Like Thai?
No.
No.
It's spelled that way, but it's not pronounced that way.
I'm learning so much.
Right.
I'm drinking a Great North Aleworks Tie-Dye Dry Hop Pale Ale. That is about the longest name I've ever heard for beer.
That is a long name.
It tastes like just every other IPA I've ever had in my life. Not a little bit of a different flavor, but I don't really see the tie-dye in this IPA. I don't really
the tie-dye comes when you finish the can. Then things get really colorful.
Yeah.
I just don't see the tie-dye in my taste buds right now.
Drink about 4 of them and check back in.
I will. Got you, go, boys.
Alrighty. I am going back to heaven. Wild Heaven, to be specific. Wild Heaven beer. I'm having another emergency drinking beer right here.
No alarm this time?
Oh. I don't have an alarm ready. Sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
I have 2 of them left, so I'm going to finish those tonight. That being said, let's go ahead and talk about the preseason. Got to see most of the rookies. Jesus Christ! Got to see the rookies play a little bit last week.
They look rough.
Out of the quarterbacks, who do you think showed the most promise?
Hey, Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell proved that he's like probably one of the best solid QB3s in the NFL.
QB2, no, is he? I don't know. All the rookies suck, dude.
There was one rookie that Kerry really likes playing for the Patriots. Undrafted free agent. Kerry, talk about your man. You said he should be the starter now.
I'm so sick of Patriots fans already. After one game that Zappy was like, okay, everybody's like, we need to cut Zappy. Malik Cunningham's the future. Never any. Malik Cunningham had a great play and played well against a third-string defense. He looked impressive, and maybe he could be QB2 one day. Definitely keep him on the roster, but let's hold our expectations a little bit there. But hey, he looked impressive though. I'll give him that.
I think in training camp he's been doing a bunch of different stuff for him. So I think he's been playing a little bit of wide receiver.
If they could put him in a Taysom Hill role, I'd love that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they had him in a Edelman role there. In training camp, at least. So,
I think he's been taking more snaps at quarterback. I think after his
performance, that makes sense. We'll probably get to see him again this weekend.
And it's really nice to have guys like that on your roster. Like if you're ever going up against a mobile quarterback, which is coming more and more common, throw that guy on the scout team, have him pretend to be a Lamar, a Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, whoever the mobile quarterback is you're about to face. But you see, I had to throw Daniel Jones in there too. But
bro, Vanilla Vic.
But yeah, I mean, especially Kerry, you were just saying a lot of teams going to carry 3 quarterbacks now, like Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, and what's his first name? Last name Cunningham.
Malik
Cunningham.
And
I mean,
out of Louisville, same school as Lamar.
And Trace McSorley is not making the team. That guy sucks.
No, Trace McSorley does not need to be in the NFL on anyone's roster past like August 26th every year. That should be like annual Trace McSorley day.
Trevor, who's the best rookie that you saw?
Best or most promising?
Best.
It had to be O'Connell. It had to be the Raiders guy, man.
Okay.
Most promising though.
I think they all.
I liked what I saw from AR-15.
I think they all threw interceptions except for Young.
I know that bailed me out watching AR sail that ball and throw that pick, and then every single rookie quarterback threw a pick. I was like, whatever, man, we're good. See you next week.
Stroud looked terrible.
I think I saw this tweet from somebody. I can't remember who it was. They didn't have their starting left tackle or right tackle playing at all that game. And if you did watch, I think the pressure percentage on dropbacks was over 50% or around 50%. So, I mean, I wouldn't take too much away from that, but, yeah, he didn't look great.
Oh, but, like, who did? Levis did okay, but then he threw an interception to lose the game at the end.
Yeah.
Bryce Young had no hope. That line was awful.
Yeah.
When y'all watch him play, watch how he drops back. It says he drops back like a recess quarterback in 5th grade or something. He just grabs the ball and just like takes one step back.
He's so if that line is gonna be that bad, he's not lasting this full season. No way.
Speaking of that, doesn't have as much to do with rookies, but it almost does. Something we've been keeping an eye on, kind of a battle ever since we had Ted on the show. The 49ers quarterback battle. Man, the O-line that Trey Lance has been playing with, that was terrible.
That was bad.
It looks like they're trying to shoo him out the door. There's definitely a faction over there in the 49ers fan camp definitely trying to get Trey Lance out of there.
See, and a conspiracy theory that's been picking up online is, number one, offensive line play, absolutely god-awful when Trey Lance was under center for them during that preseason game. Number two, there was 0 called running plays for him. 0 called quarterback runs for a guy that is supposed to be the mobile quarterback, and you're just going to have him drop back behind a terrible O-line and try and make plays while he's running for his life. Conspiracy theory is they don't want him there.
He was holding on to the ball too long, though. That's for sure.
Another thing.
Yeah, he was. I agree with that, Kerry. I mean, you saw it a couple times. He just was hesitant to pull the trigger. And
he's also rusty. He's rusty. He's
rusty, and honestly, probably lacking a lot of confidence because this was supposed to be his team going into last year. Didn't start hot, got hurt, and then now Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, is the starting quarterback. Nothing's going to change that. I think even if Trey Lance would have thrown for 300 yards in a preseason game, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, I mean, and that came out today about Kyle Shanahan that Purdy is the quarterback 1, and the only battle is for QB2, whether it's Darnold or Lance.
Darnold looked good. Darnold looked good. And honestly, if I'm San Francisco, I would try and offload this guy because he's taking up a roster spot. He doesn't fit your offense that you're trying to run with Brock Purdy. Sam Darnold does fit that offense better. He's more of a Brock Purdy-style quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think Sam Darnold also has a more polished arm to be able to throw from the pocket. So I think offload him, try and get someone else in there as a third guy. But
who's a team that would be interested in Trey Lance, though? Obviously, they tried to trade him this offseason, but
Minnesota.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And then ship Kirk Cousins over. John.
That'd be a trade. Kirk Cousins for Lance next year? Cousins is under contract, but that'd be crazy.
Yeah, it would have to be weird to be able to work out, but I really want to see him get like a real shot. I know he's like rusty and he's probably like jittery, like he hasn't played in a while, hasn't played successful ever in the NFL, but like I want to see him sitting back there behind like the starting O-line, like standing tall and like using that strong arm. But I'm not going to question Kyle, but
I mean, it's dual threat quarterbacks. They're taking over. Every
quarterback. Second preseason game, yeah, right?
No, first
preseason game.
And they already announced the starter for week 1.
Yeah.
That's tough. Good thing I'm not a Niners fan.
Hey, well, Trevor, you did win one battle that also came out today. Anthony Richardson was named starting quarterback for the Colts over me and Zach.
I'm so excited to
just
watch.
had to see Gardner Minshew play.
I'm so excited to watch Anthony Richardson. Absolutely. Jim Irsay might be the dumbest NFL owner ever. He's in a competition with Jerry Jones. When you get a guy like Anthony Richardson, AR-15, whatever you want to call him, he is absolutely a physical specimen. Okay? He's fast. He's got a huge arm. He has the ability to do it all. But he's also probably the most unpolished quarterback in this draft.
He wasn't good in college. I mean, Trevor didn't admit that. He was not a good quarterback.
You don't have to be a good quarterback in college to be a good quarterback in the pros.
But no, but if you weren't a good quarterback
what I'm
in
saying
college,
is,
you'd be starting right away.
Yeah, this was a guy that if you're picking him, it's a 3-year project at least. And then he comes into the scene and he is top tier. But to get him started right away, to throw him in right to the Wolves, I know Indianapolis' schedule isn't that tough this season, but I feel like Anthony Richardson's going to have a hard time.
I think he'll put up big numbers fantasy-wise, though.
I'm not sure.
I think he will. He's just going to have he's definitely going to lead the league.
He's fine.
He's going to lead the league.
Fine.
In what? In turnovers?
100%. If he plays
I don't know.
game,
Dak Prescott might have something to say about that.
A-Rich is going to – he's having 20 picks, 15
I don't think so. You want to bet on it, Kerry?
20
I'll let
picks.
you set the line.
That's a lot of interceptions, Kerry.
Yeah, that's a lot. And I don't know. I don't know if he's going to last the whole year. I could see a scenario where, like, a couple of games in, he's really struggling. Then they go to Minshew for a bit to get his confidence back, and then go to Richardson to finish out the season.
All right, say like at least 14 games. How many picks would he throw? Actually, they play 17, so we should do 14 games at least. How many picks will he throw?
If he plays at least 14 games, I'll say 20 picks.
Dude.
Whoa, Jesus.
20 and a half? Or 19 and a half?
19 and a half.
Okay, deal.
For over 14 games.
Wow, that is a steep price. Trevor's willing to pay it, or Kerry's willing to pay it. So 20 or 19 and a half INT.
And you have to let me shoot you in the face with something.
Okay.
What does Kerry get if he's right?
No. I mean, like, because I was going to say, like, something to do with AR-15. I was like, I don't know. That sounded weird.
Shoot me with an AR-15?
No, I'm not going to shoot you with an AR-15. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something good.
Kerry has to buy an AR-15.
How about one of us could just, like, we could slap the other one in the face?
Okay.
As hard as they can.
As hard as you want.
Oh!
Yeah.
Slap bet! I love it. Okay. We talked about this a little bit before the show. Justin Fields, impressive stat line. Kerry, was Justin Fields impressive in this preseason game?
No. Hey, I will say, they've been saying for years he needs weapons, and DJ Moore, Khalil Herbert, I know Herbert's been there, but they're making plays now. If Justin Fields is going to take the next level, he's going to need the guys around him to step up. And they showed it. They bailed him out of this game. I looked at the stat line, I'm like, 360 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jeez, Justin Fields is for real. And then I look at the plays, and he throws it 2 yards. But
less than 2 yards, but
yeah, breakout maybe. I did want to say, neither of you are Kenny Pickett fans, but Kenny Pickett looked excellent his first outing.
He looked pretty good, yeah.
But about Justin Fields, like, throwing it a couple yards and then, like, you know, he gets bailed out, receivers do all the work. Do you think that's a, like, common thing with the guys whose first name is Justin? Or do you think that's just unrelated?
Okay.
I don't know. Could be a conspiracy about Justin's in the NFL, I guess.
I might start working on that. I might do some math and some physics on that later.
Okay.
Some physics on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any – I know, Zach, you mentioned on Twitter – Dolphins, with Tua's injuries last year, we were very surprised they didn't get a better backup quarterback.
Yeah.
And neither of them looked that good.
They both looked awful. Mike White was
What about
able to
Mike
drive
White?
the ball down the field and throw picks consistently. So, I mean,
He didn't. I mean, at least he didn't. He didn't have Waddle or Hill, so that's one thing.
I mean
but-
that's true, but also you don't want to see guys make your second string quarterback making those kinds of mistakes. Skylar Thompson is Skylar Thompson. We know what to expect out of him. He's at best a second string quarterback. At worst, he should be out of the league. But I just, if Tua goes down this year, things are not looking good for the Dolphins. I don't care if you have Hill and Waddle. If you don't have a guy to get him the ball, it doesn't really matter. And we've seen that on teams in the past. For instance, like the Cowboys, they've had really good wide receiving cores in the past, and Dak's just been unable to get the ball to them at a consistent rate, and they struggle in the playoffs because of it. So,
Owen, I forgot this earlier. Another rookie that did look good, Stetson Bennett. Plays
did
well for
look
the
good.
Rams.
He did look very good.
He could fit that offense. We'll see if it happens, and
I think he should get a shot in the NFL. If he doesn't get a shot in the NFL, it's an injustice.
I think he'd be perfect for that Niners system, honestly.
He would be very good for the Niner system. I think he works on the Rams as well. Obviously, he seemed to work really well there, but
All right, I got one more question about preseason for you guys. Week 1, we saw a lot of starting quarterbacks play, whether it's Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, Russell Wilson played a lot. Trevor Lawrence played. It was like, do you guys really think they should be playing, starting quarterbacks week 1?
I think it's okay for 1 or 2 drives. I probably wouldn't risk it beyond that. I think it was good. I think it was good for some teams and bad for some teams. I think it was horrible for the Broncos to put Russell Wilson out there and have him play like he did. Russell Wilson looked terrible again, and it's really starting to look like he's the Pete Carroll system quarterback. He's not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL like the Denver Broncos traded for him to be.
And paid him to be.
But, I mean, it looks rough right now. I don't think Denver's going very far this year. He played poorly. On the other hand, some teams, I think it's good, especially when you get new weapons, to get your starting quarterback out there with your new weapon, have them run routes, try and get the timing down in real game time speed. Although I've heard that most of the joint practices, actually, the teams get more out of it than they do the preseason games. So it's neither here nor there. Also, fight today in preseason practice.
Oh, I didn't watch that video, but I saw it on Twitter. Who was it?
I think it was Niners and Ravens, right?
I didn't see it.
Oh, God.
As long as they got my baby Lamar out of there. Got him not even close.
Hold on, I know it was the Ravens because Justin Tucker was in the video.
Dang, Justin Tucker was throwing hands?
No, he was just on the sideline.
Oh. We should do like the top 5 players you would want.
Oh, it was the Commanders and the Ravens. Sorry. I remember the red, but I had the wrong
Chase Young probably got hurt.
yellow.
Sam Howell did look good too, also, another guy. And I went perfect on my preseason bets this weekend, so follow us on Twitter, Greeley Bets, see all our bets, and sign up with Prize Picks.
I'm going to see if I can go perfect this weekend, Kerry.
Probably can't. I had the perfect bet. I told Trevor about it. He didn't listen to me.
But sometimes you also tell me to go against you because you're so bad at it. So.
Malik Willis and Malik
Willis
Willis
looked okay. I kind of liked what I saw of Malik Willis.
Okay. But literally, both of them were playing the entire game, switching off. Their lines were like 60 yards and 80 yards. 2 quarterbacks playing the whole game. Those are easy lines. Easily got me money. Trevor didn't listen to me,
That's
as always.
smart choice.
Money can't buy happiness.
That's an interesting battle, though, between Levis and Willis for QB2.
I thought in this game, Willis played better than Levis overall. But I could see.
Yeah, and I think Willis had a few more drives, too. I think Levis only threw like 10 passes in that game.
But from what I saw, I think he just looked better. Which is good, because I'm a Malik Willis fan, so I hope he does well. Alrighty. With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about fantasy football. Running backs.
Ooh.
Running backs. Do any of you guys have honorable mentions? Anything of the sort?
I do.
Trevor made like 50 on his list for no reason.
No,
50?
I was gonna go for 50, and then I heard that you guys said 15, not 50, so I stopped at 30 again. But yeah, I guess I'll just read off that excess just in case anybody want to write this down. You know, a lot of running backs get drafted in fantasy. At number 30, I got the second New England Patriot in the top 30, Ezekiel Elliott. I think he'll score a lot, enough to get him in the 30.
Makes sense.
Number 29, Khalil, the best Herbert in the NFL. Number 28, a guy who has a big opportunity to be way higher, but I just had him settled in at 28, Alexander Madison. 27, Javonte Williams. 26, Dalvin Cook. 25, J.K. Dobbins. 24, another guy with a big opportunity, Cam Akers. Number 23, Kamara with a suspension. Number 22, Miles Sanders. I like his position there in Carolina. Number 21, James Conner. Number 20, Jonathan Taylor. I think he stays relatively healthy this year. I'm just kind of had him dropped down my list. I think he's the best of JT. Number 19, Ramondre Stevenson. Number 18, Damian Pierce. Number 17, Rashad White. Number 16, Carrie Close Your Ears, Kenneth Walker.
Is he even healthy?
No.
While you mentioned that, the other two big signings this past week, Dalvin Cook to the Jets, Zeke to the Patriots. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I feel bad for people that have already drafted Ramondre Stevenson.
That's what you get if you draft like early. That's what you get. Honestly,
I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
I think Zeke is going to get 85% of the goal line carries.
Zeke is going to have 4 weeks in the middle of the year where he's like a top 5 fantasy back, and then he's not going to play for the rest of the year.
Zeke is going to be what Damian Harris was in New England, just a little bit better.
Damian Harris scored a lot of touchdowns.
And Ramondre Stevenson was still a top 10 running back with Damian Harris there.
Right. Yeah. I think having them both in the top 30 isn't crazy. But yeah, I'm glad. Anyways, about Dalvin Cook, I really like it. I mean, he's a really, he does his job. He's usually good for about at least like 9 or 10 games a year. There's always seems to be like some sort of little injury in there. But, he can catch passes. He's a lot faster than he looks. He's elusive. Just hopefully he's healthy and hopefully he's, still that young electric running back. But I got him settled in at 26 because I had him a lot higher. But, just with Breece Hall being healthy, Breece Hall is a much more, not complete, but dual threat back. He's a lot better receiver. I think he had almost as many receiving yards as Dalvin Cook did last year. But, and Breece Hall only played like 2 games. But I think that'll check out with Aaron Rodgers pretty well. And I guess we will see where I got Breece Hall in my top 15. But I like the Dalvin thing. And the last thing on the Jets running back subject, I saw something in Carrie. What do you think about this? It was like, the people, since you got to play the Jets twice, it was like, if anything, Dalvin Cook is taking away carries from a young star, Breece Hall. Is that a good thing, or is it not good if you're taking away carries and giving them to another elite back?
Breece Hall's coming off an ACL. He needs to, take his time, get back, especially with running backs and injuries. They should not be out there getting him 20 carries a game. If they, use 50-50 there, it's going to be better for him long term. I think it was a 1-year deal for Cook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they split this year, and then Breece Hall next year, he's your go-to guy. But I do want to say, Dolphins missed out on both Cook. I want to say maybe we see Kareem Hunt or Fournette going there, but I do think the Dolphins need a running back. I don't think JT gets traded.
Wait.
No, they're not going to trade him.
Why do they need a running back, though?
They're always linked to Cook. They're running back.
It's a mid-off for their running back.
They can running back by committee like 25 carries out of that, and then they can do some dump offs.
I think they could use a better receiving back. That's why they want to Cook, but I think Fournette's a better fit there.
Who's their RB1?
It's Akane, Jeff Wilson, and Mostert. So it's like a 3-way. None of them are that.
Like the Niners, like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Which it's not.
Did they have Mostert too, like a year or two ago?
Who?
The Dolphins?
Mostert's on the Dolphins.
Oh, you just read his name?
Yeah.
And Jeff Wilson?
Yeah.
Who am I thinking of?
They do have Gaskin, I think, too.
His beer is strong, fellas.
5%.
Let's take a 4 picks in.
I got a couple honorable mentions. Rashad Penny, Philly, I love. I think he's going to get more action than Swift, but kind of hesitant to put him top 15 with all the Philly running backs. I like James Cook in Buffalo. Brought in Damian Harris, but James Cook's going to be the guy. I'm hoping this is his breakout year. I just mentioned Dolphins. Devin Akane, he's very fast. He didn't have a great preseason game. I think he had like 10 carries for 20 yards. But he's got a lot of potential. Dolphins fans love him, and he could definitely be that breakout running back there. And last one, Donta Foreman. Bears run the ball well. Justin Fields runs a lot. He's getting a lot of goal line carries, but I think Donta Foreman's still going to be a quality back there. Zach, any sleepies?
I got one guy. I got a couple of guys. So number one, if you can get Alvin Kamara late, get him. He looked good in preseason, and I have a feeling that they're gonna use him a lot this year with Carr behind center. So I really like Alvin Kamara late in the draft.
Is he gonna go that late? I mean, 3 games is not like.
No, I don't think he'll drop that far, but I think he will drop because he will have that suspension.
Yeah.
But I that's the reason I don't have him in my top 15. I think he's going to be very, very good late season especially. Another guy that I have just outside my top 15, Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of hype around Jahmyr Gibbs. He's a great running back, but I think they're going to be committee backfield. They have David Montgomery there, who's more of a bell cow. Jahmyr Gibbs, a better receiving back. So we'll see how that all plays out, but I don't have Jahmyr Gibbs in my top 15 for that reason. Another guy I don't have in my top 15, Alexander Mattison. I'm just not sure about what he's going to look like as an RB1. He's been the number 2 to Dalvin Cook almost his entire career, so not really sure what to expect there. And DeAndre Swift in Philly, I think he's going to be bad in fantasy this year. I would not pick him.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not buying high on Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
That's going to be committee.
We'll see.
Who wants to start? And we're doing 3 again, I think, like last week?
Yeah, we'll do 3. I'll go ahead and start. At number 15, I have a guy who I think is going to be very good for this team this year. There are more of a committee backfield, but I think you're going to see this guy take a bigger role this year.
Jake Funk.
On a very good team that I do think will win their division. I'm going to go with James Cook at 15. That's a little high. But
I think you've always never liked James Cook. That's why I'm kind of confused.
I think he's a good receiving back in an offense that likes to put the ball in Josh Allen's hands. If they can find a way to get him the ball in open space, I think he's going to do very, very good, especially in PPR leagues. I also think he's the best back in Buffalo, and when you're the best back on a team that's contending for a division...
No, he's not.
Huh?
Do you know who the best back in Buffalo is? It's Josh Allen.
True. But
that's the reason why.
James Cook is the best running back on the depth chart.
Sure.
So I have him at 15.
I'll take that.
At 14, I have another bit of a surprise. Carrie's gonna hate this one. Close your ears. I have Najee Harris at 14.
I had him very high last year, I remember.
Yeah, you did, and you hated yourself for it.
I did.
This is a team that is no longer super, super run dependent. So I'm hoping what that'll do is create gaps for him in the run game, get defenses to back off. Kenny Pickett did look good in the preseason. Their wide receiver core is okay. So I'm hoping that he gets a few more unloaded boxes to run against this season. And then at 13, out of Arizona, I have James Conner. They got to give the ball to somebody in that offense, and they don't have a quarterback. So 13, James Conner.
That offense is just so bad. It scares me, man. Bad offenses. I don't know. Battle lines? I don't know. If not me, I'm avoiding that.
Yeah, I get it, but I mean, someone's got to touch the ball.
True.
And they don't have a quarterback.
Also true. All right, I'll do my 3. Trevor, 15. This is for you. You didn't have him in there, but I had to. Rachaad White at 15. Like Zach's kind of said with Arizona, it's going to be not a great Tampa Bay offense. Baker's going to throw the ball to running backs a lot, and Rachaad White's a very good receiving back, and I think he's going to do well as their RB1. I buy low on him. He's not going to go that high in your drafts, but he's a guy that could get plenty of touches in a mediocre offense. So I'm taking Rachaad White at 15. 14. Somebody just left them right off their list, but Jahmyr Gibbs. I know they signed David Montgomery in Detroit. This offense is going to score a lot of points. He's our guy. They drafted him very high. And
True.
Gibbs, I thought about putting him over Bijan Robinson, and I don't know, I might actually, but for now he's a little bit behind. But 14, Jahmyr Gibbs. Rounding it out, 13, Ramondre Stevenson. He finished a top 10 back last year.
I know.
With Damian Harris there. I had him a few spots higher with Zeke coming in before Zeke. Zeke's going to get goal line carries. He's going to get more touchdowns. But Ramondre does enough in the passing game with how bad this offense is. Ramondre's going to get 4 or 5 catches a game, help you in PPR, and he's going to get a lot of yards. So Ramondre, maybe the touchdowns aren't going to be there, but Ramondre still taking him high.
All right.
Yeah, Kerry, with Rachaad White, I just had him left off, had him at 17, but it reminded me when we had that Bucks guest on, he said they were going to try and use him in an Alvin Kamara role. So if that's really the case, that should be really interesting to see. I think he's wearing the jersey number 1 this year too, which is, maybe that's a big deal. He was 29 last year. But at number 15, I kind of wanted Kerry to be here for this. I wanted some reactions. But number 15, a good season, but I don't want to put too Kerry.
I'm tired.
Too much pressure on this guy coming out as a rookie.
I'm tired. I need to wake myself up.
I can tell you're a little tired. I think we're all a little tired, man. But yeah,
got a tequila wake you up.
I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning.
Bro, drinking brown tequila is
it's gross.
Great. It's brave. Number 15, I'll go with Bijan Robinson.
Okay.
Just a good year for a fantasy running back. A top 15 finish for a rookie is excellent. They got a good backfield there. Tyler Algier, Cordarrelle Patterson. Hopefully we'll see him a little more in the passing game this year. Desmond Ritter's going to need it. Compliment Kyle Pitts. Compliment Drake London. Guys like that. But yeah, I got Bijan Robinson at number 15. Number 14, big bounce back year. Like I talked about him earlier. Yeah.
I feel like I've been listening to the media on him, which has got me more hyped. But the amount of Bijan Robinson hype in the fantasy football community has been insane. Yeah. Like, I've seen people have him, like, top 3, top 5 fantasy running back.
Yeah, I just don't think there's a chance of that.
Maybe there would be a chance if he was in, like...
You have Algier as a pass catcher, right? Patterson, pass catcher.
I did hear Patterson might not make the team.
That's so wild to me. He was their best offensive player last year.
Because it would save them, I think, a decent amount of money if they cut him.
That
is the only reason why.
Well, I mean, that's getting rid of like a 3-headed dragon in the backfield. Everyone stays fresh. You don't have to worry about injuries.
That's why I don't love Robinson. That's a committee, I still think.
Yeah, even with Patterson gone, it's still a committee. Algier played very well last year. In fact, a lot of Falcons fans, because I'm in Falcons country right now, a lot of Falcons fans were really upset with the Bijan Robinson pick. Because it's like, we have Cordarrelle Patterson and Tyler Algier, who both played well last year. Why are we picking a running back in the first round?
Yeah, 8th overall was kind of,
Also, is there a true thing as a Falcons fan? I feel like everybody in Georgia just cares about Georgia football. Nobody cares about the Falcons.
No, I have cousins
I talk to him every day.
It's Bulldogs or bust.
That's also true, but there are Falcons fans.
I heard Falcons fans are like really quiet, but like once the team is good, they're like so loud and like so like everybody has a Falcons hat on. Like they take the jersey out of the back of the closet. Like, but
take out
anyway, number 14, catching a lot of passes. doing it on the ground and in the air. Who to better do it with than Aaron Rodgers? I got Breece Hall at number 14. And at number 13, a guy who took a contract cut because he said he really wants to go all in this year. The numbers might take a little drop, but still a solid year, just like every year for my number 13. That's Joe Mixon. Okay. So 13 Mixon, 14 Breece Hall, 15 Bijan Robinson.
So you don't think the addition of Dalvin Cook's going to hurt Breece Hall's numbers that much?
No, I do. Well, now, because I think he's going to catch a lot of passes, like a lot more than people think he is.
Okay.
And, I assumed we were doing PPR. But,
yeah.
If Dalvin Cook wasn't there and it was just, Michael Carter or whoever the RB2
is he going to be involved in all?
I'd have him top 10. But what, Kerry?
Michael Carter be involved in the backfield at all is just going to be a duo?
It'd probably be a trio. I'd be shocked if it was just two. Especially with one guy coming off of a bad injury and the other guy being a guy that has been riddled with injuries his entire NFL career. I'd be shocked if they didn't go committee with 3 backs, which is why I left Breece Hall off my list.
I do like your Mixon one, though. I don't have Mixon in my top 15, but he had a down year last year. I do think he could bounce back. And P. Ryan's gone, who was stealing his touches, too. So
yeah, I agree.
This is a good buy low candidate.
Where is P. Ryan? Minnesota?
Denver.
That's right.
Alrighty, so it's time for 12 through 10.
Gary, I hope you don't have Javonte Williams in your top freaking 6 again. But
I don't even know if he's going to be ready for week 1. I think he's going to be back for preseason, they said, but I don't even think Javonte Williams is in my top 30. I think P. Ryan's going to get more touches.
All right.
Especially as a pass catcher. P. Ryan's a pretty good pass catcher. At number 12, I have Joe Mixon. I think he's set for a comeback year. I think he's going to do very well. This offense, I think it would help this offense to have a solid running game, and I hope that they put that into the game plan this year if they want to have a lot of success this season, because I think that's one of the things that they were missing last year was a solid run game. So I have Joe Mixon on a bounce back year. And then at number 11, I have Aaron Jones for the Green Bay Packers. Very, very good running back who can catch a ball. And Jordan Love going to be making a lot of short throws. You imagine some of those are probably going to go to one of their best playmakers on the field, Aaron Jones, who's been very, very good for a very, very long time. So I think he's going to have a good year. He's at number 11. And then at number 10, I have the steal of your fantasy draft. I'm going to tell you guys this right now.
Jake Funk.
No, the steal of your fantasy draft is
Ryan Nall.
Rachaad White at number 10.
Okay.
Rachaad White, fantastic pass-catching back. Fantastic. Honestly, probably one of the most underrated pass-catching backs in the league. He's sitting behind old man Leonard Fournette. They're throwing screen passes to Fournette, who probably at this point in his career runs a 5.3 40 time.
Andy still wears the same pads he wore at LSU for some reason.
Yeah, that's a very strange thing. Also, very good at running the ball. He can run it up the middle. He can run it to the outside. He's fast. He's quick. He's agile. I think that Rachaad White top 10 is not that crazy, and I think it's very, very much in the cards. That's why I have him so high on this list, is because I think that Rachaad White is finally going to get his chance as RB1 for the Bucs, and it's going to look really, really good for him. Bucs are still going to stink, but he's going to have a good year.
Just need Baker to not screw it up, man.
Now that I'm thinking of that, I'm going back to last year, and I'm looking at the numbers for a certain running back for the Panthers when Baker was starting. Christian McCaffrey did not do much of anything in the receiving game when he had Baker last year. And that is Christian McCaffrey. He only had 8 catches for 50 yards his first 3 games with Baker's quarterback. He had one game with 80 yards, but besides that, he was not really a threat as receiver with Baker. So that kind of just made me a little hesitant. I still love Rachaad White, but
I think he might. I think he's honestly the biggest buy low candidate in this draft. Because he's gonna go. I could see him falling to the 5th or 6th round in some drafts.
And Baker did
I got him late. We did a mock, and I got him. Well, not late, but later than I thought I would have got him.
Yeah.
So
I just think people are forgetting about the Bucks, people are forgetting they're even a football team right now.
Rachaad White is a really good secret right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a secret anymore, but Zach Charbonnet, or however you pronounce it, I think he could also be a big breakout this year. Walker, we don't know how healthy it is. Charbonnet could still end up being the RB1 with Walker healthy.
Yeah.
He's another guy to buy low on.
Alrighty, that's 12 through 10 for me. Carrie, tell us 12 through 10. Who you got?
Honestly, my 12 through 10, I just don't know where to put them, so I put them here. They're all kind of question marks to me. At 12, I got Bijan Robinson. He's tons of talent, but I don't like that backfield situation.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get a lot of catches. I think he's going to put up yards, but just the fact that Patterson's there, Algier's there, I don't know where to put him, but people are putting him too high right now. I got him at 12. 11, I just kind of stuck him there because I don't know what to do with him. Jonathan Taylor, we don't know if he's going to play, if he's going to get traded. So just be hesitant on that. I'm going to probably avoid him in my draft for now.
Yeah.
But obviously it's Jonathan Taylor. If he's healthy, he's up there. But rounding out 10, I got Josh Jacobs. A little bit low. Everybody loves Josh Jacobs. He's been very inconsistent in his career. Was great last year. But, Jimmy G's in town. We'll see what happens. I think Josh Jacobs isn't going to be as dominant now. And, 10's not a bad number, but I'd avoid him a little bit.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Trevi
Here we go. So my number 12, a guy that I've raved about probably almost every week for the past 2 or 3 months. Bi-weekly when we were bi-weekly. But you guys know how much I love Jahmyr Gibbs, so I got him in at number 12.
Okay. I don't hate that. I mean, he was one of my first guys off, so I'm not upset about that.
I just think, the only thing holding him back is that he's a rookie and we haven't seen anything yet. But I really think he's one of the most, pure football players just that I can think of. Just get the ball in his hands, no matter if you got to hand it to him, toss it to him, screen, whatever. Just get the ball in his hands, let him cook. He's a great football player. Number 11, Aaron Jones, and I'm really interested to see what we see out of Jordan Love. But I think if Aaron Jones can succeed, Jordan Love can kind of, get some momentum, get some, good stuff rolling off of that. So I think this offense is really going to start with Aaron Jones. I think the defense should be fine. But if anything's going to happen with the offense, it's really going to have to start with Aaron Jones, even if he's not going to be the focal point all year. And then at number 10, I would have put him higher, but, when you're talking about these top-tier running backs, these top 10 running backs, pretty much all of them, you got to at least consider the injury potential. And he fell to 10 just because of injury, but I think he'll have a solid year, even if he doesn't play the whole year. And that's Saquon Barkley at number 10.
Okay.
A quad.
Alrighty. Real quick, before we move any further, I need to revise my list already.
You forgot about somebody?
Yeah, I forgot about somebody. It's not that I forgot about them. I just didn't know where to put them, and then I ended up forgetting about them by the time I was at my top 15. Jonathan Taylor, I see him anywhere from 10 to 13. So I'm not going to say him, but he's anywhere from 10 to 13.
Okay.
But I didn't know where to put him. I was like, is he top 10? Is he not top 10? I decided on not top 10, and then by the time I got to that point, I didn't write his name down, so I don't have it on my list. But he is a top 15 running back in fantasy.
Here's the question though: if he doesn't play with the Colts, who getting in that backfield? One of the white boys? Jake Funk? Jake Funk. Evan Holt's supposedly been pretty good, rookie. Take one of your white running backs. It's 2023. We're inclusive. White running backs can play. Deion Jackson's there too, but that's not a great backfield if JT doesn't play.
Agreed. They're going to need a good backfield.
I do also want to say, every year I do this. Every year, I just don't like Aaron Jones. I don't know why in fantasies. I never have him high. And he always does well. I don't know. I don't like him, and I never do. Nothing against you, Aaron Jones. I just could never draft you, and I never put you high. But I know you're always like 12, 10, wherever. But I can't do it. I'm sorry.
All right, we're going 9 to 8, and then or not 9 to 8. Gosh, 9 to 7.
Do 9 to 6, and then we can do our top 5.
Okay, 9 to 6. So starting out at number 9, he has been way overhyped this year in fantasy. I still think he's going to have a very good year, and I think he will get every single goal line touch, and that's Bijan Robinson out of Atlanta. I don't disagree with you guys putting him where you did. I think he's definitely way overhyped. I mean, again, like you guys said on some of the lists that I was seeing as I was, going through all the running backs. I mean, some people had him top 3, top 4, and I just don't think there's a shot of that happening. So I have Bijan Robinson there at number 9. At number 8, I got a guy who had an incredible year last year. I think he'll have another incredible year this year with Jimmy G at quarterback. I have Josh Jacobs. Jimmy G's got a history of having really good running backs, so to carry his mediocre ass through the playoffs and then lose Super Bowls because he throws last-minute interceptions. But that's neither here nor there. I have Josh Jacobs at 8. I think he's gonna have a good year. I don't think he's gonna repeat what he did last year. I don't think he's gonna be the leading rusher in the NFL, but he's gonna be very good. At 7, I got a guy who, like Alexander Mattison, is his first time really being RB1, and that's Tony Pollard in Dallas. I think he's gonna be very good.
You got him where?
At number 7.
Okay.
I think he's going to be very good. He is a decent pass catching back. He's very fast. He's shifty. I think he's going to be doing just fine. He's also probably going to get a majority of the carries there. So that is where I have Tony Pollard. At number 6. I have a guy who's an incredible pass catching back, has great chemistry with his quarterback, and can run the football. With the addition of a new rookie running back, might throw some issues with him getting the amount of carries that he probably would otherwise, but I think being the primary pass catching back is going to help him out a lot. And that's Travis Etienne out of Jacksonville. I think he's going to be very, very good this year, especially in PPR leagues.
He's a threat.
Wow.
Was that all the way to 6?
That was 6.
Yeah.
All right, Kerry, let's hear what you got.
Number 9, Saquon Barkley. Yes, is he playing on the tag or something else? But a 1-year deal.
1-year deal. It's not a tag, it's basically a tag, though.
He had a great year last year. I think he'll put up good numbers this year, but I don't know. Saquon, I'm always hesitant about injuries, but he's good. He's Saquon. And yeah, I like him. All right, here's where little Kerry starts to bring out his little surprise picks, as usual. Number 8, I don't think both of you had him a lot lower. I got Dameon Pierce from Houston.
Wow.
His UF boy. He was great last season. Once he got injured, season went downhill. That line isn't great. They got a rookie quarterback, most likely CJ Stroud. They're going to run the ball a lot. Dameon Pierce looked very good last year. The only real slack on him is he's not too involved in the passing game, but he's going to get 20, 25 touches a game with how bad this offense is. No receivers on this team, no tight ends. He's going to get a ton of carries.
Bro, no Nico Collins disrespect on this podcast.
I had to. Tank Dell, who everybody loved in the preseason, but I like Dameon Pierce. He was good for me last year, and I'm taking him high.
Okay.
Another guy at number 7 who both of you had a lot lower, and I have no reason why, and who everybody seems to slander for no reason, is Alexander Mattison. Alexander Mattison, when Dalvin Cook was out, and we all know Dalvin Cook's missed a lot of games in the past, he's put up just as good, if not better numbers as Dalvin Cook as an RB1. Alexander Madison's going to be huge in that offense. He's going to get a ton of touches, and he's going to put up big numbers. I don't know. Everybody's just doubting him for no reason, and he's shown he can do it when he stepped in for a few weeks before. Obviously, a whole season is a different thing.
Yeah.
But He's going to put up big numbers. He's going to be involved in passing games. He's going to get a lot of runs. He's going to get goal line carries. I love Madison there. Number 6, I had him very high last year, and it did not pan out. Najee Harris. I think the Steelers, I heard they're only carrying 2 running backs this season, him and Jalen Warren.
That's ballsy.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll happen, but we'll see. Harris going to get a ton of touches. He gets a lot of last year, he was only relevant because of his receiving numbers. He was an awful goal line yards per attempt, but I think he's going to bounce back this year. Steelers' line has been improved. And, it's an offense that is young and taking a step forward. I think Najee's going to maybe not be a top 5 back, but he's going to be in that top 10 conversation at least. There's my 9 through 6.
Okay. Well, where you left off is where I'll pick it up. I got Najee Harris at number 9. I think he'll have a better year than, like you said, we saw last year with the yards being kind of low, the yards per attempt. Kenny Pickett wasn't a super, give me time and I'm going to burn you quarterback. So, and I'm not expecting him to be that this year either, but I think Najee will settle into the role that's much more consistent, have much more yards of carry, touchdown. Like you said, Gary, he's a great pass catcher, and that's what really kept him relevant in fantasy last year. I think he'll be able to combine the two together this year and turn in a top 10 performance. I got him at number 9. Zach, another great football player. Just get the ball in his hands. Love this guy. Number 8, Travis Etienne. I wish I could have put him higher, but it's just both of these guys, I wish I could have put him higher, but I love all the people in front of him. Number 7, this brother is going to win you leagues. Carrie, close your ears. The DeAndre Swift show is back in the top 7, and I'm doing this every year. Really is the spot. Him running behind that offensive line is going to be terrorism.
Trevor, you got to make it better.
Borderline terrorism. It's going to be borderline terrorism.
Trevor, you want to bet?
Can I get in on this bet? Because I don't think there's a shot.
Trevor, if he's top 10, you could slap me 5 times.
All right.
Top 10?
Top 10 fantasy running back.
I'm not doing that.
Didn't you just have him at like 7?
Yeah, I got him at 7.
So top 10 is top 12.
But there's a lot of things that can go wrong out of my control,
You missed on. I'll give you top 15 for 5 slaps. That's how little faith I have in DeAndre Swift.
How little do you have faith in him, though?
That he's
like,
not.
Would you even go top 20 or no?
I consider it.
Let's do top 8.
You know what, Trevor? Here's the thing: you have him in the top 7, but you won't even take top 15. That's the crazy.
I'm a businessman. I'm not trying to get slapped in the face. Would you do 18 or 17?
I'll do 18. Top 18 fantasy back.
I don't want that action. But
okay, and Carrie, I get to slap you with whatever body part that I want to.
No.
5 slaps.
And number 6, shout out to Jackson Clark, shout out to Gab Gowdy, shout out to Johnny Manziel, shout out to LeBron, shout out to Cleveland, Nick Chubb at number 6. If only he could catch better, man, he would be the package. But he is a great running back running behind a great line. He's going to get those yards. He's going to get those touchdowns. He's going to run your favorite linebacker over. But,
no,
yeah, number 6, I got Nick Chubb.
Oluokun cannot be run over.
He'll still get the tackle, but he'll run him over.
Kareem Hunt is gone. Is that going to open up even more for Chubb? Or
I mean, it's top 6, bro. You can't be 2,
No, but still, I mean, you had Kareem Hunt, who was top 20, top 25 option.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. This is my list, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know much, so.
I know ball.
You do know ball.
Are we going 1 by 1 or 2 by 2 with the top 5?
1 by 1. This is America.
All right.
All right. At number 5, I think this is the beginning of the end. I think that the walls are coming down.
I know who you're going to say.
I think the walls are coming down, and I think we're about to see a change of power. I don't think King Henry's going to be top 3 this year. I have Derrick Henry at 5.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
No one knows
I don't hate that, though. I don't hate that. Another guy who just, man, if he could catch the ball better, like, they would be just different. But, like, I mean,
but honestly,
if you can't catch the ball.
It wouldn't be fair if Derrick Henry could catch the football, though.
Same thing with Chubb too. Yeah, like either of these guys.
The line for Derrick Henry receiving touchdown is 0.5 on Prize Picks. If you want to take that,
that is insane, bro.
That might be worth it.
0.5 receiving touchdown.
One screen pass for a TD is all you need.
Right? You don't think you have like a
2-yard line? They do like a push pass to Derrick Henry.
It might have been Chubb too. That was also like 0.5.
Yeah, both of them. It was three running backs. I think the other was like Miles.
I think Miles Sanders. Yeah, was the other one that was like 0.5. Miles Sanders hasn't had a receiving touchdown like 3 years, which really surprised me.
That is
I would not have
surprising.
thought that.
Because he's a decent receiving back. He's not great, but he's decent.
But odd there. All right. Did you say your 5?
Yeah.
Did you?
Zach said Henry, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna agree with Zach. Derrick Henry. The Titans line is not that good. He doesn't do much receiving game, but still Derrick Henry. I think having DeAndre Hopkins there is going to help the passing game and not, hopefully, with him and Burks, not focus as much on the running game, which should open things up a bit more. But it's Derrick Henry. He's still going to be top 5 at least. Trevor?
We were very, very close to all having the same one at number 5. But my number 5 is going to be last year's big story, last year's new kid on the block-ish. But I think, is his name Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
Josh, yeah.
What else would it be? Jeremy Jacobs? Jangaloris Jacobs?
Josh?
Jacobs?
Yeah, but like Jacob. Yeah, Josh Jacobs, a top 5 year. I know a lot of people are expecting him to fall off, including Kerry. Kerry's a hater. Don't be a hater.
10, so it's not like that's a huge fall.
Appreciate Josh Jacobs while he still can, man. Top 5. He's not that good. I mean, he's good. Top 5.
If you're a top 5 fantasy running back, you got to be pretty good. But
I mean, but he's not top tier. But he's top 5.
Okay. Alrighty. At number 4, I have a guy that I think's gonna have a very good year. Because he's a very good running back, very good pass catcher, very good runner of the ball, very good in open space. He can make guys miss. A lot higher than you guys had him, I think, both of you. I have Saquon Barkley at number 4.
Wow. One of these big running backs has got to stay healthy though and have a huge year. So
yeah.
Maybe it'll be Saquon.
I feel like last year they were pretty healthy for the most part. As we go back and think about it,
yeah,
Derrick Henry missed some time, but for the most part, all the big guys were healthy last year.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a rarity.
True.
Rare health. Who you got, Kerry?
Number 4, I got Nick Chubb. Zach him a little lower. I get him a little higher than Derrick Henry. Just that Hunt's gone. I think he's going to get all the touches. Demetric Felton or whoever's behind him is not going to take much away. He's reliable. I feel like Chubb is probably the safest guy you know is not going to get hurt as a running back. And now that I say that, he'll have a torn ACL in week 3. But if he doesn't, Nick Chubb, great buy. He's not going to get catches, but he's going to get you the yards. He's going to get you the touchdowns, and I like him there.
Yeah.
Twevy.
Number 4?
Yes.
You guys had him at 5. I got him at 4. It's my boy, Derrick Henry. Dominant. And he had the last time he had a great year was when they had a bona fide number 1, and they had A.J. Brown. So, if Hopkins can be a shade of that, I think Derrick Henry can be a shade of what Derrick Henry was and have a top 4 year. Run over 100 people, score 15 times.
The line was also a lot better when A.J. Brown was there.
But Treylon Burks, I think we all like. And when they had A.J. Brown, they really didn't have a great wide receiver, too. So the fact that they have Hopkins and Burks now is at least...
I'm not going to sit here and gas up Treylon Burks.
No, but I think Nick Westbrook-Ikini or some other crappy guy was their wide receiver, too, back then.
And it's still, it's Ryan Tannehill. They're not going to be airing it out by any means.
Yeah.
Let the man throw, bro.
Didn't he have 35 touchdowns one year?
Yeah.
Yeah, play action passing, man.
Yeah.
Play action passing is big.
He saved his career in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's had 10 years now?
He's been in the NFL 15 years now.
Really?
No way.
Dude, no, it's crazy. If you go through quarterback ages now, like Dak Prescott's like the 5th oldest starting quarterback in the NFL right now.
Jesus Christ. I remember
It's
when
like nuts.
I remember when he was drafted. That makes me feel old, Carrie.
What was the age? But like Ryan Tannehill is I think like the 2nd or 3rd oldest.
Rodgers definitely has to be the oldest, right?
Right, yeah, it's not even close. I think the next one is like Rodgers like 37. I think like
Cousins.
How old is Jimmy?
Cousins like 34.
I think Jimmy G's Tannehill's 35.
Wow.
Jimmy Garoppolo is
Goff is younger than you think. I think Goff is like 27 or 28.
Yeah.
he's the same age as Mahomes, I think. Garoppolo's only 31, so he's not that old either.
Mm.
But yeah, he's old. All right, Zach, 3.
At 3, who did you have lower? It's Nick Chubb at number 3. Safest pick this year in fantasy. Nick Chubb is going to do Nick Chubb things. He's going to run the ball well, probably catch 3 passes all year for a total of 7 or 8 yards. But he's going to run hard and score a touchdown. So Nick Chubb at number 3 I don't think is crazy. He is my favorite running back in the NFL.
I think he's the safest option.
Absolutely the safest option.
But I feel like you could, depending on like how many teams are in your league, you'd probably get him in like round 3, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
2. Number 3, both of you are definitely going to have him higher. Trevor thinks he carries a certain quarterback. I got Austin Eckler at 3. Great receiving back. Not as great a runner. I think the Chargers are going to air it out this year. I think Eckler is going to be less involved and get less touchdowns this year as they let Justin Herbert throw finally. But obviously, it's Austin Eckler. He's going to do well. He's 3 for me.
Number 3 is where it gets interesting. I got Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh.
Healthy. There's obvious potential for one there. If he's healthy, he should be number 1. It seems like all running backs miss time.
Yeah.
I feel like me and Trevor might have a very big surprise in our top 2 that we both agree on, but we'll wait and see if that happens.
I'm kind of shocked.
It's sounding like it's going to happen.
Because I know the names that you haven't said, and I'm like, really? But
I think me and Trevor have something similar going on today.
I think you do too, and I don't like it. I think it's wild. That's a wild take, guys. At number 2, I have Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh.
Very, very good running back. It's PPR.
That's true.
And he's a great pass-catching back. Obviously number 1 potential, just like Trevor said. On an offense that knows how to use him with a good O-line. Great weapons all around him to take the pressure off of just him, unlike he had in Carolina. So he's not getting 40 touches a game, and last year didn't get hurt. So hopefully that continues this year. I think there's definitely number 1 potential with Christian McCaffrey, but he is not my number 1 pick.
All right, number 2. My boy, I loved him last year. I think he finished maybe 8 or 9 last year. The Ewok is gone. It is his backfield. Tony Pollard, number 2. He is the Cowboys' backfield. Kellen Moore is gone. They're going to run the ball this year. Tony Pollard is a beast. He might be the most underrated running back in the game. He's going to go off this year. I might take him in the first round if I can get him. I love Tony Pollard this year. Deuce Midget Vaughn, the little 5'6" guy, he's not going to steal your carries, buddy. It is all Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is here to stay. Take him.
Dallas fans are high on Deuce Vaughn.
Why?
He's like Darren Sproles.
They replaced an Ewok with an Oompa Loompa. I don't know if one's better than the other.
That was just rude, Carrie. That was just rude.
Trevor, did we agree?
We did initially, but I flipped some names around, and we got a new number 1 on the block, and that's Tony Pollard. Let's just keep talking about him. I got Tony Pollard as running back number 1 this year. Why talk about number 2 when you can talk about number 1? I originally wrote down Austin Eckler as my number 1, but It's the Cowboys running back. They had me thinking a few years ago that DeMarco Murray was one of the best running backs of all time, or was going to be. And it was just that O-line, that ground and pound. And Tony Pollard has got it, dude. He can catch it. He can run. He can break tackles. He hangs onto the ball. He's fast. He can get out in the open. He's hard to tackle. I love it. You guys know how high I am on this Cowboys offense. I had CeeDee Lamb top 5 in fantasy receivers last week, so go check that out. But yeah, number 1, Tony Pollard. Zach, who you got at number 1, baby?
Number 1, it's got to be Austin Ekeler. I think for consistency's sake, he has been the most consistent receiving back in fantasy. Obviously, you have guys like Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley who also do the job very well. Aaron Jones, also another guy that does the job very well and has been consistent. But Austin Ekeler, he gets catches, he gets yards, and he gets touchdowns. Trevor would say it's because he's carrying a quarterback. I would say it's because the offense that he was in was built to get the ball to guys in open space, especially running backs, who are talented as Austin Ekeler is. Austin Ekeler is a very talented receiving back. And I think that to think that a change at the coordinator position is going to take away arguably one of their best offensive weapons, I think is an asinine take. He might not be quite as explosive as he was early last year, but I think he's still going to be very, very good this year in fantasy, and that's why I have him at number 1. There's almost zero injury risk with him. He has almost never been hurt. So I really like Austin Ekeler this year. Was he RB1 in fantasy last year? I believe he was.
I think so.
Yeah.
I have him repeating. I think that they are going to air the ball out with Justin Herbert, but when you air the ball out that much, defense got to play cover 3 shell, and when the defense plays a cover 3 shell, you dump the ball. And guess who's the dump guy?
Justin Herbert guy in the corner. Obviously, we expect them to throw the ball with Herbert more. Where would you put his interception line? I mean, last year he didn't throw that many because they weren't having him throw much. Where would you put if you had to put an interception line for Justin Herbert right now? Where would you put it?
I think betting odds have it at 9.5. I would put it at 10.5.
Where do you think it'll end up? Like 12? More?
Anywhere from 11 to 14.
So you're taking the over.
Yeah. I think a better line is 10.5. But 9.5 is fun.
Okay.
My number 1, CMC. I know they got all the weapons, but it's a Niners team that never lost with CMC in the regular season.
That's fantastic because we're not talking about that. We're talking about fantasy football right now, Kerry.
He does it all, man. He's the best white boy in the game. Gets like 20 catches, 20 carries. I forget what his yards per attempt were in San Francisco, but it was insanely good. He's just insane. Like Ekeler, but McCaffrey just more involved, just a better runner than Ekeler.
True.
Receiving-wise, they're pretty similar. But I don't know. I think Chargers can air it out. Ekeler, hey, I feel like he's a safer bet. Eckler's another guy that's pretty much stayed healthy the last few years. Yeah. So obviously there's a CMC injury risk. But it's the Niners. We'll see what happens. I love CMC. Let's do it. CMC number 1.
All right.
Interesting. Should we go through our top 15, read them off?
Who's your 2, Trevor?
Austin Ekeler.
Oh.
All righty.
Yeah. Run through your 15.
I'm gonna say 16 because remember I forgot Jonathan Taylor, and I'm just gonna throw Jonathan Taylor in where I feel it fits. At 16 I have Najee Harris. At 15 I have James Conner. At 14 I have James Cook. Wait, hold on. 16, 15. No.
I was confused.
16, 15. Yes. 14, James Cook. Sorry. 13, Joe Mixon. I'm going to put Jonathan Taylor at 12 behind Rachaad White. Then Aaron Jones at 10. Bijan Robinson, 9. Josh Jacobs at 8. Tony Pollard, 7. Travis Etienne, 6. Number 5, I got Derrick Henry. followed by Saquon Barkley, and then my top 3, Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey, and Austin Eckler as the king of fantasy football at the running back position.
Here we go.
All right, my top 15. 15 down. Rashad, Roddy White, 15. Jameer, Johnny Gibbs at 14. Ramondre, Mondre Stevenson at 13. Bijan Robinson at 12. Jonathan Wangdong Taylor at 11. Josh Mamoni Jacobs at 10. Saquon Beefaroni Barkley at 9. Damian Quickadick Pierce at 8. Alexander Quaddison Madison at 7. Najee Trashy Harris at 6. Eric Barry Henry at 5. Nick Chubby Wubby at 4. Austin Beckley at 3. Tony Donkey Pollard at 2. And Christian McCaffrey at 1.
This is why we don't let Gary take shots anymore.
Yep. This is why he was banned.
But don't worry, the ban is up for regular season. You will get to see a fully drunk Gary for about 20 weeks in a row.
Life.
So make sure not to miss that when the regular season comes back. But here we go. At number 15, I got Bijan Robinson. Number 14, Breece Hall. 13, Joe Mixon. 12, Jahmyr Gibbs. 11, Aaron Jones. 10, Saquon Barkley. 9, Najee Harris. 8, Travis Etienne. 7, DeAndre Swift. 6, Nick Chubb. 5, Josh Jacobs. 4, Derrick Henry. 3, Christian McCaffrey. 2, Austin Eckler. And number 1, the new kid in town, the new number 1, Tony Pollard.
Wild. Okay.
Talk about defenses, yeah?
Yeah, now we're going to move on to the most exciting... Okay, first off, before I even get to this segment...
Don't disrespect kickers.
Second most ever kickers.
Yeah, second most exciting after kickers. But first off, I'm gonna let our listeners in on a little secret, okay? Don't get attached to a defense in fantasy football. What you want to do is you want to play matchups. So, for instance, I don't care if they're the worst defense in the league at some point, if they're going up against the Bucks and Kyle Trask in Week 14, drop whatever defense you have. It does not matter, and take those guys. Okay, there you go.
I do want to say, I have always done that strategy, but last season, in one of my leagues, I kept the Patriots, I think, the entire year, and it worked out. I think the Patriots had, they had a turnover for a touchdown, 7 or 8 games last season in the second half, and it was great. And it worked out for me, but listen to Zach. He's right. That's the best way to take defenses.
Yep.
Do you want to do all 5? Or?
Yeah, let's just go all 5. Making some last-second changes here.
While you're doing that, I'll shave my fat because I brought 10 because I wanted to include my Bucks, who I got at number 10. I got the Saints at number 9, the Dolphins at 8, the Patriots at 7, and the Eagles.
Dolphins at 8?
Yeah.
That's an awful... Dude, what are you doing?
Why?
That is an awful defense.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Oh, without Ramsey, they're starting Zach Smith at cornerback week 1.
Let's go, baby! Shut down.
I got him so high. And then a big surprise at number 6. I think the Eagles.
I know you're a Dolphins fan. That's nuts.
You'll see.
I get the offense. Their defense is not good in that secondary.
They will be.
That's interesting. Zach, you ready?
I was born ready. In no particular order, but I'm going to say at 5. And this probably is actually the 5th. This is a homer pick. It's the Jaguars. I think they're going to be good on defense this year.
This is why this guy never wins fantasy football every
Okay,
year.
let's relax. I've literally never missed the playoffs.
And I win every year.
You do not win every year, Carrie.
I won last year.
Did you actually?
Yep.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Trevor doesn't even know what it means to make the playoffs. So
I love drafting, though. That's my favorite part of fantasy.
That's his peak of the season right there.
Draft night
It's because he
is
takes the Miami Dolphins in the 3rd round. Miami defense in the 3rd round. They're going to be great this year.
The draft night is my Super Bowl for fantasy,
And then
sadly.
in no particular order, I got the Patriots, Jets, Steelers, Broncos.
No Niners.
Niners were first one out. I had to make room for my Jaguars.
Eagles?
I think the Eagles are going to fall off this year. Defense
Over the Jag. There's a homer pick, ladies and gentlemen.
I said it straight up. I said this is a homer pick. I think
true.
the Jags defense is going to be good this year, especially because of their schedule. The schedule is not very good.
True. All right, I'll do my 5. My homer pick at 5. They get a ton of turnovers, a lot of defensive touchdowns. New England Patriots, because their offense can't score. I love their defense this year. It's going to be great. It's the only reason I should even watch them this year is their defense. But I would
watching football like it's the 1980s. He's like, I want to watch a defensive battle.
Poor guy. You got
At 4, get the New York Jets
out here throwing for 500 yards a game, and you're just watching a defensive
He's like,
battle.
let's see 6 fumbles, 3 by each team. I want a 10-3 final score.
But Patriots, they're going to give it a lot of yards, but they get a ton of turnovers. That's all that matters in fantasy. At 4, get the Jets. They got probably the best defensive line in football. They're going to get a lot of sacks and turnovers, like the 4. And then 1, 2, 3, got the NFC. Dallas Cowboys at 3. Micah Parsons, they're going to get a ton of sacks. Diggs and Gilmore, they're going to get a lot of picks. And they're going to score points. 2, I get the Niners. They're probably the best. It's arguable they have the best defense in football. I like them.
You're such a Steelers fan, dude.
I feel like the Niners are going to get less turnovers than Dallas. No. Yeah, honestly, any of my 1 through 5 are arguable at any position. All of them are going to put up big stats. Number 1, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. That defense is nasty.
Wow.
Jalen Carter, preseason, he was about to kill a man. He knocked Pro Bowl lineman Joel Bitonio to the ground in practice today. That Eagles defense is nasty. I'm taking them 1 in fantasy. But as Zach said earlier, I am a week-by-week matchup guy, and I think that's the best way to play defense.
Absolutely.
To continue my list at number 5. Are you done?
In spite of that, I would say play whoever the Indianapolis Colts are playing this season, as Anthony Richardson
will shred you
all over a lot. So
I agree with Kerry. That's why the
A-Rich
Jags,
is going to
honestly,
lose
at
these
5
fantasy
is not bad. They play them twice this year.
That's
They
true.
also play the Bucks. So
and CJ Stroud.
and CJ Stroud twice. And they play Bryce Young in that terrible O-line. So could be nuts this year for the Jaguars. Had like 50 sacks.
A-Rich is going to cook this year.
If you went back and listened to this man last year, all he did was complain about Anthony Richardson playing for Florida.
Why can't he throw a 2-yard pass? Why does it have to be like sailing over the guy's head?
Different
It's unbelievable.
He's worse than Graham Mertz, and Graham Mertz is awful.
No, Graham Mertz is terrible. We're going to
horrible
this year. No matter what Graham Mertz does this year, there's no way he's getting drafted.
Trevor was a bigger fan of Kyle Trask at Florida than he was Anthony Richardson, and that is absolutely 100% true.
Anthony Richardson was not good at Florida.
It was a bad situation. I don't blame him. Anyways, at number 5, I got the Buffalo Bills. Number 4, just like Kerry, I got the Jets. Number 3, the Niners. Number 2, I hate to love them, love to hate them. I know a fan of the team that is really sexy. That is the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 2. And then at number 1, there's going to be one of them in the top of every list, so I had to do it for defenses. I got the Dallas Cowboys at number 1.
Both of you did not have Philly. I'm very interested.
I had Philly at 6.
Wow.
Philly was one of those teams I tossed around in my head. I just don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year.
In New England at 7.
And that is it for fantasy football talk today. Do we go ahead and jump into rapid fire, Kerry?
Let's do it, boys and girls.
I don't know what that accent was.
I don't know. I tried it and it didn't work. Will the Jets or Bills have a better year?
The Bills.
I'm taking the
Jets.
I'm taking the Bills. I like the Jets though.
I don't.
Speaking of that, Hard Knocks coming out now.
True.
Name a sleeper MVP candidate. Justin Herbert.
Trevor Lawrence.
Deshaun Watson. Sadly.
Do you think the NFL could actually give him the MVP award without
Yeah.
Do you think they could? I feel like they would face so much crap for that.
Most vulnerable position.
Yeah.
Unless like Mahomes like outlasted him and won a Super Bowl or something.
All right, where do you rank Tua among quarterbacks in the NFL right now? I have
7th and higher than Herbert.
Anywhere from 7 to 14.
True or false? Russell Wilson will have a bounce back season.
False. He looked god awful in the preseason.
I think
Not
he's
really.
better.
Not good enough to call it a bounce back. Sean Payton's going to eat his words.
What NFL team has the best logo?
Jacksonville Jaguars, baby.
Patriots.
I got to go with the Dolphins.
God. Their old logo is better.
All right, because we're all very biased. What's your least favorite logo? I do not like the Rams.
Steelers.
The Rams' new logo is awful.
The what?
The Rams' new logo, I do not like it.
Rams' new logo. Okay. I hate Carolina's logo.
Really?
I absolutely hate it.
All right, we talked about this a little earlier, but the official question, how many interceptions will Anthony Richardson have this season? I'm going to say 21.
I said anywhere from 14 to 16, and he's going to have about that many touchdowns. Passing.
I'm going to say 8.
8 interceptions?
Yes.
What, did he play 3 games?
8 interceptions.
In how many games?
He's going to have 8
However
interceptions
many
in
he
the 2
plays.
games against the Jaguars.
If he plays the full year, I'll throw 8.
8!
He doesn't
Yes,
believe that.
the
He does
number
not believe
between
that.
7 and
You
9.
can tell.
Make
You
this
can
out
tell.
for-
You can try.
You gotta make this a quote.
Trevor makes the same
yeah.
face every time he's bullshitting you. He goes. He
I'm
does.
drunk, Zach.
He does this. He does this. He goes.
I'm drunk, Zach. That's why I'm smiling.
And then he goes.
Anyway, also, I wanted to show you guys this. Look what I got. Hope you're ready for the season. So,
World champions.
there we go.
What did that say? 1978 or something on there?
Because all of us
Doesn't
are
matter.
wrong, man.
Doesn't matter.
All right, drop a quarterback that you always enjoyed watching play.
God, there's so many.
Michael Vick.
I always enjoyed watching Peyton play until his last year.
One. That's it.
Okay.
I liked Andrew Luck, man. I liked RG3 too.
All right, I don't remember if Zach liked this one or not. His team's uniform, but what is the ugliest NFL uniform ever?
Bro, putting the mustard
like those
yellow
or not?
on there is disrespectful.
Oh, yeah,
Jags
you do
need to
like
bring
that.
that one back. I love that jersey.
Bumblebee's the worst one ever.
I don't know. There's some pretty bad AFL jerseys.
Bumblebees
Like the
is
throwback AFL jerseys are ugly.
The one that I think
What was it? The Broncos one is awful. It's like brown and yellow stripes.
Oh yeah, those are bad.
There's some bad ones. What'd you guys say is the worst like active NFL uniform right now?
The
I think
worst active.
The Titans is pretty bad. The Bucks old uniform before Brady was awful, but the new ones are better.
Yeah, the Jameis ones.
Yeah, but I'd say I don't like the Titans one. I feel like those are the worst.
Dude, I really don't understand what
Honestly,
people like
the
about
Colts
the Raiders.
too basic. Do something else.
The Raiders
Well,
are too big for me.
Both of those are good. I hate both of you. Describe Kirk Cousins in one word. Nice.
Money.
Kirk.
Name a better pass rusher than Nick Bosa right now.
Not possible.
TJ Watt.
Miles
Not
Garrett
possible.
and TJ Watt.
Not possible.
Which quarterback would you rather have for the next 5 years, Josh Allen or Joe Burrow?
Would I rather have? I'd rather have Josh Allen.
I'm taking Josh Allen.
I'll say Josh Allen. I don't really care though.
Pick one in
I
the
got two,
program.
hey, for the next 5 years, I got 2 holes for a reason. Give me both of them. I'll take both of them. Yep.
Pick one in their prime, Russ or Cam.
I got 3 holes if you want to throw in Jalen Hurts too.
Honestly,
If Cam was on that Seahawks team, they were winning at least 2 Super Bowls. It's
I
Cam.
agree, Carrie. I
Good job.
100% agree.
Cam.
Cam.
And we all agree. Go us.
That's a first.
Who's your favorite San Francisco 49er player of all time?
San Francisco 49er of all time.
Allen Rossum.
Oh, God, what's that guy's name?
Jimmy G, sadly.
No.
Ew.
What's Navarro Bowman?
He was a
He was
beast.
good.
I love Namora Bowman.
Trigger this fan base in one sentence: the Buffalo Bills.
And
How many rings?
it's wide right.
0.
The blue moon is getting whiter.
What?
The blue moon is getting whiter.
I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Oh, they only are good every once in a blue moon, and it's starting not to be blue anymore.
There were so many options you could have done, and it was just...
That made almost no sense.
All right,
But it did.
What pre-1980s quarterback would have the most success in today's NFL? Like
Dude,
Johnny
what?
Unitas, Terry Bradshaw, Roger Staubach, Frank Tarkenton, Joe Namath, Bob
Today's
Griese.
NFL?
Today's
I'm gonna
NFL.
be dead honest, it's probably Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, because he's a good runner.
Can you say Steve Young, or he wasn't before then?
He was in like the 90s.
90s.
No. I don't know.
Trevor doesn't know anyone before the 80s, so
Probably Fran
Yeah.
Tarkenton today.
I feel like Bradshaw and Staubach would have been like solid.
I
too.
think Bradshaw is another guy. I don't believe in Staubach.
Raider. All right, who's your favorite fullback of all time?
Mike Allstott, bro.
Yeah,
James
same,
Devlin.
honestly.
James
But
Devlin.
shout out to BJ Askew. He was fast.
All right, 2013 Broncos versus
Leonard
2022.
Floyd.
Shut up. 2013 Broncos versus 2020 Chiefs. Who wins the one-game matchup?
20 what?
2013 Broncos, so the one that lost to the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. The 2020 Chiefs, the one that lost to the Bucks.
2020.
That Broncos offense was probably the best all time. Take the Broncos.
It's the
Exactly.
Chiefs. Easy.
Against the best offense in NFL history?
Okay, did you watch that game?
The Seahawks had an insane defense. The Chiefs don't.
I don't care. They muffed a snap in the first play of the game.
They had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, though. I don't know. I might slightly take the Broncos.
How many did Manning have that year? Like 48?
Something.
I think-
something wild.
Yeah.
He like
53. 53.
It was insane. All right, who was the better safety, Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu?
Better safety was Ed Reed.
It was Ed Reed, bro.
They're both equal for me, honestly.
That's wild.
True false. NFL Red Zone is the greatest invention of all time. True.
No.
I don't know.
Chipotle.
Have you ever had mashed potatoes?
Yeah, they're not that good.
Bro,
It's not better than Chipotle.
mashed
I'm
potatoes
thinking-
is way better than both of those things.
I'm thinking Chipotle over mashed potatoes any day of the week.
Bro,
What about
you put you can put anything you want in mashed potatoes that tastes good.
What?
Yes.
All right, name a random quarterback. Vinny Testaverde.
Jeff Garcia?
Oh God! Hold on, 1 second. Give me a second.
Yeah,
Robert
what?
Marv, Brad Kaya. There you go.
They're going to say Stephen Morris. Is Jalen Hurts an elite quarterback? Not yet.
Jalen Hurts, elite quarterback.
He's the definition of elite.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
say not yet.
Name an NFL player
He's
that
on
looked
his way.
weird. Name an NFL player that looked weird playing for a different team. Randy Moss is a Tennessee Titan.
I forgot that even happened until I saw that post. I was like,
True.
whoa.
Brady's a
I feel
buck. Brady's a buck was always weird to me.
Yeah,
Ocho
same thing
Cinco
with
as a
Peyton as a
Patriot.
Bronco was weird.
Ocho
Brett
Cinco's
Favre is a
Patriot.
Jet. There you go.
Yeah, that was weird. Or Brett
And a
Favre was a
Viking.
Viking. That might have been weird.
No, Brett Favre is a Jet. He just did not. It did not. The white and green.
All right, you can steal one player from the Chargers. Who are you taking? Justin Herbert, obviously.
One player from the Chargers. Khalil Mack.
You can take Bosa over Mac.
I'd take Mack over Bosa. Yeah. Bosa sucks. He's the most overrated pass rusher in the
Your boy
NFL.
Derwin- What about your boy Derwin James?
I'm okay at safety right now. We have Andre Cisco.
Who's the
I'll
best?
take Irwin.
Who's the best cornerback in the NFL right now?
Best corner?
Surtain.
Yeah, probably Pat.
He's saucy.
Bro, I can't wait till they start throwing holding flags on him.
Saucy.
Oh my god, it's gonna be every play.
Who should start for the Texans this year?
At quarterback?
I think Davis Mills should start at least the beginning of the year. Stroud is not.
I actually agree with you. I texted the group chat. Davis Mills looked better than CJ Stroud.
He did.
Granted, CJ Stroud was under a lot of pressure.
Stroud was under pressure. Like, I don't think there was a single play he was out there he wasn't under pressure.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's not like they brought in the starting left tackle and right tackle for Davis Mills. So
that was like the Patriots' second string D line. And I know they were missing a couple starters, but I think they still had a couple starters out there for the Texans.
They did, but if you don't have the left tackle and right tackle, bro, it's a jailbreak.
Against the Patriots' second D line?
Yeah.
That's rough. All right, what would Patrick Mahomes' career have looked like if he was drafted by the Bears? I don't think he would have a ring.
Oh, no, without Hill and Kelsey. He'd still be good, though. I mean, he'll just look a lot different.
He needed an insane defense when
he'd be better than Justin Fields.
All right, who's the second best kicker in the NFL right now? Daniel Carlson.
Second best, probably Carlson.
Sadly, it's Evan McPherson. He fell.
Who's the better quarterback, Jared Goff or Geno?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, yeah.
Pick a wide receiver duo: Dolphins, Eagles, Bengals. Taking Bengals.
Dolphins, bro.
Bengals.
Or name an NFL player that already peaked.
Justin Herbert. Did you hear what Ocho Cinco said about the AFC North receiving core? He said the Browns have the best receiving core.
Amari and Moore?
Yeah, he was like gassing Anthony Schwartz too and somebody else. Elijah Moore. Is he there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just said Cooper and Moore. All right, top or bottom trio. Top is Burrow, Chubb, and Hill, Tyreek Hill. Bottom is Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Justin Jefferson.
Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, and Justin Jefferson?
Yeah. Who's the running back on the top?
Nick Chubb.
Dude, what O-line do they have?
Say they have the Dallas Cowboys O-line.
Sure.
It literally doesn't even matter then. Give me the top. I would just love to see
go
like
bottom. I go bottom. It's not that close, honestly.
All right, last one. Is Mike Tomlin underrated or overrated as a head coach? I think he's underrated.
Underrated.
He's properly rated.
He's never had a losing season.
Yeah, everybody knows what it is.
Think about how shitty some of those teams have been, and he's never had a losing season.
Have pretty good rosters. He had Big Ben. Steelers have always had great defenses.
Kerry, do you remember the last 2 years of Big Ben? We were watching a fat man literally break down on the field every down he played.
Defense, though.
I understand he had a good defense, but he had an 80-year-old fat boy at quarterback his last 2 years.
He's underrated. I just think he's had great teams also.
He's a great,
like the
great
Steelers defenses the past 20 years have been nasty every year.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Paul Lomond, Harrison, TJ Watt.
But part of that's on the coaching.
Is it?
Kerry.
Is it?
Kerry.
Is it?
Kerry.
Is it?
Are you really going to say coaching has nothing to do with how good your defense is?
The head coach? As much?
When he's a defensive head coach, yes.
Has an effect. I don't think it has that effect when you get Hall of Famers in your defense. I don't know. Wait and see. That's it for Rapid Fire. Get all those questions on Twitter at Beerly Football. Follow us on there to see all these questions before we talk about them on the show.
Anything you guys want to plug before we head out?
Man, Kerry did it before me. Like he said, at Beerly Football on Twitter. If you want to check out the bio on that account, it's got myself, Zachary, and Kerry's personal Twitters. So definitely interact with us some. Like no matter what day of the week it is, we'd love to talk ball, talk about just about anything. But let's
read a couple of Beerly Trev Scott's tweets recently, just to see if you want to interact with a guy like Trev Scott. Some of his tweets this week have been, it smells like something different every time I get in my car. That was the tweet today.
And the comment on that he put cilantro.
Some other tweets include, life is like basketball. I suck at basketball. Getting pulled over by a Jeep Patriot. What could possibly go wrong?
What time was that tweet?
Starting now, I'm not kissing any woman that can beat me in chess first.
What was my comment on that, Carrie?
Like 98% of you ladies are still.
At least 98% of y'all ladies still with a shot. This man dumb at hell. And I'll leave you guys with one final Beerly Trev Scott tweet. Hopefully, it's never too late to become a beekeeper.
That's a fact. Hopefully.
So follow him on Twitter for those very rational tweets.
Inspirational.
Some might say inspirational.
If
you wanna talk football, I'm always on Twitter at BeerlyZach. I just spit straight future predictions, and I'm right 100% of the time. So if you guys want to know what happens before it happens, make sure you follow me, Zach Stradamus, at BeerlyZach on Twitter. And I believe that is all we have for tonight's show. Thank you, everyone, for watching if you're with us here on YouTube, and for listening if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, anywhere you can find your podcast. We do appreciate it. We will see you guys next week, where we will be discussing what, Carrie?
Quarterbacks and tight ends for fantasy.
Quarterbacks and tight ends. Big episode.
A finally anticipated top 20.
Our top 20. All right, we will see you guys next week. You guys have a good one.